Hello and welcome to ZRL Season 3, Stage 3. Today's route brings us a scratch race on the Road to Ruins course. Today's course is categorized by two major climbs, one being the Epic KoM up past the Windmills towards the Alp Zwift in the jungle, and then the jungle climb up out of the jungle, and then the ramp back and over into Watopia. With today being a scratch race, finishing position is everything, so the goal for today will be to try and stay with the front group as long as possible to optimize the finishing position for myself. Today with the Infinity Scones team, we have Luke, Sean, Kevs, Alain, and Geert, all very strong riders, all capable of a very strong result. Looking forward to today's race, so let's get going. Here we have a couple riders looking to try and get a breakaway started, approximately 2k into the race. Pretty ambitious move, definitely not something that I'm going to be chasing and closing down. I'm going to be sitting in the pack and letting the other stronger riders look at closing this down. It is only a couple riders, so it's something that I expect that will be pulled back over the course of this race, but we will see what happens. And here the lone breakaway rider is about to get swallowed up by the group as we come across the bridge towards the dirty Sorpresa climb. Breakaway didn't stay away, not too surprising. No one's going to want to give too much time this early in the race. Here we're hitting the dirty Sorpresa climb up out of the valley up into the Italian villas. This is on dirt, so the first real logical use for the steamroller power-up, that is today's sole power-up on this race. Basically makes the dirt act as though it is tarmac, so makes it a faster pace than dirt, low effort for the same amount of speed. Goal just to try and stay near the front, don't want to let any riders get off the front. At the same time, there are a few little rollers coming just after this, so being near the front allows us to take those a little bit easier without having to worry about losing the wheels. So, climb navigated without too many issues. Just time to recover before the Epic KoM start. As we approach the Epic KoM, things start to line out. A few people at the front are definitely putting down a pretty strong pace heading into this. So I'm about mid-pack here. I would like to be a little bit further forward, but I don't want to put in too much energy too early before we hit the slopes. You note that the hardest part of this climb is the earliest part of this climb. This is where it's steepest, which is where everyone will be freshest. So my goal here is to try and stay with the front group or be in and around the rear wheels of the front group as we get onto the bridge, so that I can use the lower gradient as an opportunity to get back in the wheels, as hopefully the people at the front maybe ease up a little bit once the steeper climbing is done. So again, pretty good position here, really happy with where I'm at. Pretty big group, no one surging too far off the front. So as we start the second portion of this climb up past the Windmills, you can see that I am with the front group. We do have one rider that's kind of kicked in a little bit of a surge as we came around the bend off the bridge. So the pace does pick up again, and I do have to ramp the power just a little bit to stay with this front group and not drop any of the wheels, which would be quite disappointing after putting in that big effort to get up and over the bridge portion of the Epic KoM. Again, once this climb's done, we are going to get quite a decent amount of rest as we descend into the jungle. So just going to have to dig a little deep here to stay with this group. Here we are starting our ascent back out of the jungle. It's a pretty steady climb here, about 4%, so not too steep, but also definitely enough of a ramp to have to put some effort in. Goal, just stay with this group as long as I can, hopefully make it up and over and out into Watopia with this main group, but I do think that that is definitely going to be a challenge. Legs are still pretty heavy after the effort earlier on the Epic KoM, so we'll see how this goes. The group isn't hitting it too hard too early, but there's definitely been a pickup in the pace. So as we're coming to the top of the jungle KoM, you can see there's a few riders that have surged off the front. The front group is very drawn out. I'm just trying to hang on to these wheels at the back of, I'm going to say, the main chase group behind the leaders. Definitely having to work really hard. Definitely starting to struggle. And yeah, already used the steamroller power-up, so there's no aid coming there. So again, just trying to stay in these wheels, get as much draft as I can as I try and make it up out of the jungle with the lead groups. So as we come up out of the jungle and off the dirt and hit the tarmac, this is where unfortunately the elastic snaps. You can see there's two main groups here. I'm just not able to stay with either of them. The legs are done. It's just too much for me, not quite fit enough to stay with this group. I do start to close this group down briefly, but I just don't have enough to get into the wheels and get that draft. Disappointing, but again, still really happy with how long I hung on up this series of climbs with the B-Cat riders. So we've crested the final part of the climb out of the jungle. As I take a look at current situation, I'm 13 seconds back of the group in front, 13 seconds up on the riders behind me. There's only two riders behind me, so sitting up and waiting for them is not really going to make much sense. It's not going to give us enough firepower to chase down the larger group in front. So I make the decision to just time trial this to the finish, try and keep the group behind me, and minimize time losses to the group in front. As we come into the final 400 meters, you can see I have lost some ground to the group in front. However, I have actually managed to put some time for only a few seconds into the group behind. So this 20th position I'm in is pretty secure. Really happy with the time trial effort after those climbs finished to keep the group behind. Really happy with that. Really happy with 20th place overall. I think that's a very good result for me. I think the team also had a fantastic day, Luke finishing in the main chase pack. So with that said, that brings an end to stage 3, and we'll be looking forward to the team time trial next week.